All right, it's that time of year where we come to the car deck. This is one of my favorite things at the Monaco Yacht Show. I'm torn between the two things. You know, I love super yachts, but I also love super cars. And behind me here, we have something really special. This is a modified 911, modified almost beyond recognition. I thought this was a modified R8 when I first saw it, until I saw the headlights, and then I started to notice more details. What we're going to do is we're going to have a look around the car deck at the most impressive things of the show. We're also going to talk to the chap who is responsible for building this, or he's one of the people that works for the company Brabus, who is basically a hot rodder, but you know, not your basic. They're more like Singer. They take a car like this, a 911 Turbo S, and they modify it to the craziness that you see behind me. So we're going to go and speak to the chap who is from Brabus, and he's going to tell us more about it.
Okay. Yeah, welcome to Brabus at the Monaco Yacht Show 2023. We have a huge range of cars here, like the Range Rover, but one very special thing is the Brabus 900 Rocket R. It's based on the Porsche 911 Turbo S. It have a wider body, 900 horsepower, and a masterpiece interior. And the whole body is made from carbon fiber, and also the inner wheelhouses are made from Kevlar. So this car has a complete wider body than the standard Turbo S, about 6 centimeters wider. We have no rear spoiler. We have the ducktail, which is everything. All these body parts are made from pre-packed carbon fiber. Also, the complete front is made from pre-packed carbon fiber. We have forged wheels with aero disc and turbo fans. The inner wheelhouses are made from Kevlar, so very special, and a handmade leather masterpiece interior, up to on request what color the customer ever wants.
And what have you done to the engine?
Yeah, the engine you can't see here on that car, especially the boxer is more, you can see from underneath. It's based on the Turbo S, and it's upgraded with new turbochargers, with new electronic, with new sensors and some other things, and as well a very special exhaust which is made from Inconel.
Okay.
And this on the end have 900 horsepower, and it accelerates from 0 to 200 under 9 seconds. So let's come to a complete different thing. That's the Mercedes-Benz 280 SL Pagoda. This car is built in 1970. It's completely restored by us. It's like a brand new car, as you see here. So the quality of the car is like it left the factory in 1970. Some people say maybe it's in detail even better, because we are not in a hurry when we're restoring those cars. We're using about 1,000 to 1,500 hours craftsmanship to bring it in that condition with a new leather interior, but totally original, in a very special, nice color combination here in dark olive. Yeah, and wherever you look, also if you take a look on the trunk, whatever, it's like really a brand new car. Okay, it's locked.
It's locked. Okay.
Sorry.
That's okay.
Yeah.
All right. So this is completely restored.
It's completely restored. It's like really a brand new car. Also,
right.
The engine in detail is it's the standard engine like it was in 1970, but we overhaul the engine with new pistons, and all the bearings are new. And as you see in detail, it runs like in 1970, and it looks like in 1970 when it left the factory.
Wow. And how much one of these will make?
Such a car is around 330,000 euros, including VAT.
Okay. And what about the 911 actually?
The 911, depending on the equipment, the car is about 550 to 600.
600,000. That's including the donor car, right?
Including the donor car.
Okay.
And here we have a very outstanding car, which is really a statement. Yeah, it's the Brabus 900 XLT Adventure 6x6. 6x6 stands for really a unique thing on the car, because it has 6 wheels, and one major thing on that car is that it has a single suspension, not like the standard G class, which have
You don't know English translation?
Yeah, English
you mean
translation.
Independent suspension, is that what you mean?
Suspension.
I see.
Yeah, but the other car, how it's called in Starachse. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So
I'll translate that word.
So this car is very special. It has 6 wheels, completely developed by us, because we use a standard G63.
Can you explain that as well? Because this is a pickup. So what do? You take in a stock G63, and then what happens? What happens then?
Yeah. So we're taking for this car. So for Brabus 6x6, we're using a standard G63. Put everything out of the car. Take the body. Take the frame. We have a frame. The modification is about 50% on the frame. Yeah, it's 50% on the original. More than 50% are modified. It's longer. It's stiffer than the standard. Then we take the body of the G class and shorten it. Yeah, and make a complete new rear on the body. And we have the pickup bed here completely, which is made from carbon fiber and aluminium and steel. That you have a complete pickup conversion for that car. It has also a 4.5 liter modified engine based on the 4 liter AMG engine, modified to 900 horsepower and 1100 newton meters of torque. Such a car is about, depending also on the equipment, something between 1.2 and 1.4 million euros. This car here is really special because it's based on the SL63. It's called Brabus 750 due to the fact that it has 750 horsepower, but in that edition it's really special because it's a Bodo Buschmann edition. Yeah, because our founder Bodo Buschmann loved the former SLs like the R129s with a 7.3 liter engine in that time in the 90s, beginning of the millennium. He loves those cars, and we said, okay, as an honor to him, we built a car which he today would drive. Yeah, and we're choosing the same color combination he loved. That's black and black with black leather, everything. Also, the wheels are in matte black, and the wheel here is a homage on the wheels we produced end of the 90s, beginning of the beginning of the 90s. That's called Monoblock 2, which is a 3-spoke wheel, which is very unique, and we have an evolution of that wheel. And today it's a 22-inch forged wheel, very light, very stiff. And we have the power upgrade to 750 horsepower, black carbon fiber add-ons like the exhaust tips with titanium tips and covered in carbon fiber, pre-packed carbon fiber rear diffuser, rear spoiler, front spoiler, lowering for the suspension. Yeah, a very unique, cool and very good drivable convertible.
All right, thanks very much. Now, as well as some of the cars that he's just talked about, they have some models here that he didn't really go over. Now, this is a Maybach. It's got 850 horsepower Maybach, completely modified inside. You can see the Brabus sign inside there designates the fact that it's been modified by Brabus. And then you've got this Range Rover over here. Again, 600 horsepower Range Rover. Completely modified. Now we're talking about engine, we're talking about bodywork, and also the interior completely modified beyond the original spec. All right, this is one of my favorite cars in this section. This is from Brabus Classic, and this is different to the other Brabuses you've seen, which are modified and changed beyond recognition. This is a 1970s Pagoda, which has been completely restored. Nut and bolt restoration, back to 0 miles on the engine, and but it's been done in a way that is better than it was when it came out of the factory because they've spent more time on it, and it looks absolutely immaculate. Looks like, I can just imagine Elizabeth Taylor driving this through the streets of Monaco in the 1970s. The only problem with this one and Monaco is this is a manual transmission. You definitely want an automatic in Monaco because the traffic is so intense. Now this is a peculiar looking car. The model, or not the model, the maker is called Da Vinci. It's made in France, interestingly, so not Italy, as you might expect. Now this kind of intrigued me until I found out it was electric. So it's an electric car. There's 2 of them here, and kind of lost interest. Then it's got hydraulic suspension as well, which is interesting. But the power numbers are all in metric, so I don't know how to translate that, but it says 15 kilowatt electric motor, 23 kilowatt hour battery, and it says a top speed of 110 kilometers an hour. So it's not. I don't know what the purpose of this car is, because it's not fast. It's 750 kilos. It's very light, but it only does 110 kilometers an hour. It's electric. I don't really get it, really. I think it's for a car collector maybe who has got a lot of money. Actually, they're not that expensive. 66,000 euros. So if you know Fiat 500, you'll know these cars here. This is the Abarth, but it's an electric version of the Abarth. And then they've got the new Fiat 500 electric behind it. Now, interestingly, this car has been completely rebuilt from the ground up. Now, it looks like a Fiat 500 with an electric motor, but it's actually bigger, wider, longer, I believe. I'm not sure if it's longer, but it's a bigger footprint than the original Fiat 500, not the original Cinquecento, but the original modern Fiat 500. This is a bigger car, and obviously it's electric, but this is kind of funky. I like that color. It reminds me of a Porsche blue. It's also a convertible, and it's the Abarth, so it's got a weird sound to it as well. I filmed it when it was coming in before the show started. It's 46,000 euros though, so electric as well. So, Okay, so if you are a regular of car YouTube channels, you might recognize this color, or this car actually. This is the original modern Mercedes SLS Black Series in solar beam yellow, or as I like to call it, Shmee yellow. Now, if you don't know what I'm talking about the channel Shmee 150. Tim Burton is a car YouTuber, probably the biggest car YouTuber, or one of the original car YouTubers, let's say. Actually, someone who got me into YouTube by watching his videos, and he bought one of these cars. He's got an original one of these cars, and he's got a brand new Black Series. But Mercedes don't make this color anymore, and he took his brand new Black Series and painted it in solar beam yellow. So he's got a one-of-one brand new Black Series. But this is the original modern Black Series, and he also owns one of those cars, but he's got it in a different color. It's in a blue color, which I don't remember the name of. But whenever I see this color, or whenever I see one of these cars, I think of Shmee, Tim Burton. Now, this particular car only has 6,000 kilometers on it, and it is for sale for 995,000 euros. So €1,000,000 for I don't know what year it is actually, but yeah, 6,000 kilometer Black Series. Now, the company that has that solar beam yellow SLS and the black one there, they also do, their main thing is restoration of classic Mercedes. As you can see, fabulous original SLS. I tell you who's got one of those, Nico Rosberg. He's got a YouTube channel, Formula F1 champ. He's got one of those cars, and he drove it around Monaco a couple of years ago. It was a fantastic video. I also saw these at the Mille, which is on my other channel, Eastman Tech. Which are fantastic when you see them driving on the roads. Now, the Brabus do versions of these, they restore them and sell them, and they are close to 2 million euros when they sell them. So as you can see from the sign, fully restored 300 SL Gullwing, probably from 1955, around that time, 52, 55, something like that. If it is 55 or before, it qualifies you to go into the Mille in Italy, which is great. And that often makes these cars more valuable because of the year, because the people who buy these things, that's generally, if they drive them at all, that's where they're going to drive them. Now, I'm not an expert on 1960s classic American cars, but I know that this is a 1967 Ford Mustang, or was a 1967 Ford Mustang that has been violated. They put an electric motor in it, and they completely changed it in every way, and they call it a charge. From what I can see, is most of the body is carbon fiber, and it's got that electric motor in it and a completely different interior. Now, if you like electric cars, if you like classic cars and you like electric cars, and you want to merge those two things together, then obviously this is something that you might be interested in. when he opened that bonnet and I saw that electric motor, though, it's kind of like, you know, it's not for me. I'm not a fan of electric cars in general, just the experience of them, modern ones, and I'm certainly not a fan of turning a classic car like this into electric. There are people out there who like them, and you know, whatever floats your boat, and you know, if that's something you like, then here you go. All right, we'll file this under things that I would never get in. Now, as nothing against this, I'm sure there are plenty of people who would want to go in this. There's probably a lot of people right now saying, what is that? Is it a drone that you sit in? Is it a submersible? It's neither. It is sort of a submersible, but it only goes as deep as that. So if that goes underwater, then you're in trouble. So I said, how do you know how deep you've gone? You know, how do you know that is still sticking out the top? He said, I mean, his English was limited, so I'm sure there's a better system that it sounded like, but he said, if that goes underwater, then it will stop. Now, it has actually a combustion engine, it's not electric, so it does need that for the engine to get air in. So the engine would stop if you went too deep, but he says it doesn't generally go any deeper than that. So yeah, very interesting, but I would never get in that thing because I'm a bit claustrophobic, and that does not look very roomy in there, not a lot of space.